Whiskers Graphics.
Hello guys, welcome to the Formula 1 African channel, where I'm discussing with you the events in Formula 1, the glamour and all that it entails in the world of Formula 1. My name is Chinoyo Goke and I'm passionate about Formula 1 and supercars in general. Trying to create an awareness and a platform for my fellow lovers of Formula 1 and for those persons who may have heard of the sport but do not know much about it, and even those persons who do not know much about the sport but are really interested in knowing, well, this platform is for you. On today's episode, I'll be discussing with you the definition of Formula 1, what Formula 1 is all about, the objective and a brief history of how Formula 1 started. So let's begin. Now, what is Formula 1? Formula 1 is an auto racing sport. It's actually about racing cars and its drivers. Now, Formula 1 is the highest level of single seat, open cockpit and open wheel racing event in the world. What that means is that there is just one seat which is tailored to the driver. There is no roof covering the car, hence open cockpit, and there is no chassis or flaps covering the tire. Is why it's called open wheel. Now, Formula 1 is the pinnacle of racing in the world, in as such that it is the highest form of power, speed, and driving skills. What that means is that a Formula 1 car generates so much power that it makes it the fastest racing car in the world, and as such, it requires drivers with high-level precision driving skills to handle these cars, and that's why the drivers who tend to drive Formula 1 cars start driving at a very tender age of 5 or less. They start competing at a young age in what is called the go-kart competition. Thereafter, they rise through sub-level competition before they are being picked by Formula 1 teams. Before I talk about the motive or the objective of Formula 1, I'll give you a brief history of how Formula 1 started. Racing itself began in Europe in the late 1800s, and it's pertinent to know that the invention of cars started within this period. So what that means is that the advent of cars beget racing. Now, people were interested in racing, it was fun to watch, and there was money to be made, so people went into it, right? And as a result, there are different categories of racing just as we have it today. And Formula 1 originated from what was called the European Motor Racing Competition, which was held in the 1920s and 1930s. Now, this competition came to a halt when the Second World War began. After the Second World War, the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, also known as the FIA, was formed. Now, what FIFA is to football, that is what FIA is to Formula 1. The FIA formulates or makes all the rules to which all Formula 1 team must abide by. So when this body was formed, Formula 1 did not really begin in earnest because people were still feeling the after effects of the Second World War. It was in May 13, 1950 that the first formalized organized race was held in Silverstone Circuit, United Kingdom, and ever since then, race has been held all over the world till today. And this leads us to the objective of Formula 1. Just like every other sport, the goal of a Formula 1 contest is to win a race. This is done after each driver must have completed a number of laps that are being set. It's pretty much like athletics, where athletes have to run a number of laps on the track. Just at this time around, the drivers and the cars are actually the one racing. And whoever crosses the finish line first is declared the winner. Right, and usually trophies are being handed over to the persons who came first, second, and third, and also the constructor of the winning car. That is the team who made the winning car. This I will explain in later episodes. This brings us to the end of today's episode. Now, on our next episode, I'll be talking to you about Grand Prix, what Grand Prix is about, and the number of teams in F1.